Hello and welcome back everyone to Let's Play Ultima Underworld. Let's continue. There we are. So where we left off last time, we went through the tutorial and learned the basic actions in the game. We fought a rat, we did some spellcasting, found some runes. Now I've realized, rewatching the video, that I've left two items down here on the floor. Let me see what they are. And those are more runes. Okay, now the next thing is, this game comes with a manual, and as it is the case for many DOS era RPG games, the manual is super important. So I have it open here next to me, and it gives you actually recipes, or the, sets of runes that you need to put together to cast different spells. Without it, you just don't know, you have to experiment. And so I see here that we can, with the runes that we have already, cast Light spell, we can cast Resist Blows spell, and now with these two that we found, which is Ord and Jux, we can cast Magic Arrow. And so I would like to, first of all, put them in here, into our rune satchel, and then I would like to kind of prepare that spell, which means, if I see it correctly, this Ord and Jux. Ord, oh come on, how do we use it? Oh, just left click, okay, Ord and Jux. And next time, when some enemy comes, we can just fire it off from here. Then I've read in the manual that we are able to break down doors by just bashing them down with a weapon. It supposedly damages the weapon quite a bit and eventually breaks it. But since we have right now a couple of really bad weapons, some worn out cudgel, dagger, and I think one of our bags has an axe, I would like to try to see if I can break down any door, because right now this door is locked, and so are the other doors we found previously in the dungeon. Alright, so that actually works. So we can... There's some weird effect. If I look, there's some weird distortion on my graphics. Kind of like a fisheye. I don't know if that's supposed to be that way or not. This seems to be a bedroll. Okay, that's gonna be our main way of resting. Recovering and... Hello? Friendly? Friendly? Friendly friend? Friendly indeed. This is Bridget, and unlike in Eye of the Beholder, we are going to be apparently encountering NPCs and have a proper dialogue system, as I see now. And it's going to happen immediately in the first level of the game and not in the middle like it has in the Eye of the Beholder. So let's see what he has to say. Hail stranger, what be thy business? I have not seen thee in this place before. I'm middle exploring the abyss. I can tell him I'm trying to rescue an innocent girl, but we don't know him and he looks a bit rough. I'm not gonna assume that he's on our side. I was thrown in here as punishment for a crime I did not commit. Ah, unjustly imprisoned art thou. 'Tis the usual story, my lad, but that is not to say it may not be true in thy case, I suppose. Thou needst not be ashamed of thy misfortune, lad. Thou art in the same pot with all of us now. See? He's a brigand of some kind. If thou art to have a chance of surviving in the abyss for long, thou must learn the lay of the land. I would love to learn. Tell me. First off, I would suggest picking up anything thou dost find that seems of use. Items here are scarce enough. Thou wouldst be well advised to take what thou can. Scavenge all you want, but stealing is ill-advised. Most of the abyss's inhabitants guard jealously the few possessions that they have. Battle sites are the best for scavenging. That's why I'm here. A battle took place here not long ago. A battle between the goblins and the above-worlders. What inhabitants are there? The goblins control most of these upper caves. Two races there are, the green and the grey. If they do not destroy each other, it is not for the lack of trying. Be thou especially careful of the grey goblins. I was recently imprisoned by them for trespassing. How did you escape? That would be useful. My prison cell was evidently a converted storeroom, for it had stock of useful items, including a long pole. Using the pole, I was able to reach a button which opened the door to my cell. I sneaked away and returned to my people. I do not think I will venture there again. If this is a hint at what we can do in the gameplay, then we are truly in an ancient immersive sim, and I'm all here for it. So what about the other? No, tell me of thy people. I want to know, because maybe I can make friends. The humans, like thee and myself, have staked out a small area in which we live in relative peace. Below us are the mountain men, and after that I do not know. Are all races but ours hostile? No, you know what, I just... Where are we? Where is our enclave? Thou canst find my people by going west from the entrance to the abyss, and then north. Okay. So we've actually been heading west from the entrance up until now, assuming the map is oriented towards the north. There is a small chasm to jump over, but does seem to be a dexterous lad. I do not want to jump over chasms. Past the chasm is the sign of civilization everywhere throughout the abyss. The banner of the Cabirus, marked with an ankh, the sign of the Avatar. Outside of areas marked with the banner, thou shouldst watch thyself most carefully. Most creatures who do not respect Cabirus' legacy are not particularly friendly. Okay, I would like to seek it out. We'll see. Thank you. So that was amazing. Can we keep talking to him? I have not yet visited your people. Oh, that's it. Okay. Can I just tell you that I have not found them? No, that's okay. So that's fine. I don't want to fight you. Oh, there's some mushrooms here I would like to pick up. Pick them up and put them into this satchel, which already has some mushrooms from the first episode. Okay, I would also love to... Okay, you know what? Maybe not carry a skull. That seems unwise. Just drop it somewhere. Oh, the throwing here is much... There's a little bit of weight to it, the item, right? It's much more elaborate than... It's a better physics engine than the Eye of the Beholder. And I would like to... There's a map here. I would like to take it out of here, because we might be using it often. Alright, so we already went from entrance to the west, and then he said north. But he also said we might have to jump. How the hell do we jump? It's not space. It's not control. We have some... It's not anything close to bottom left of the keyboard. Ah, if I hold left mouse button and I click on right, I kind of jump in a very awkward way. But only stationary, not really forward. Okay, we'll have to figure it out later. There's a candle, which we already have a couple of. Might as well get more. Alright, then let's keep exploring, maybe with a sword in hand or a cudgel in hand. Oh, and we have a 3D space. I wonder if it's the Doom style, where areas cannot overlap each other. This seems to be the chasm that he said, no? Oh, there's a lot of jumping here. Oh, no. I might revert to the manual just to see how we are actually supposed to jump. Well, there's certainly a jump here. Does the manual say anything about jumping? How the hell are we supposed to jump? There's levels, characters, conditions. This is how you play. This is how you converse. Attacking, doing damage. Playing it safe? I don't think so. Selecting weapons, opening doors, dropping objects, auto map, getting things, looking at things. How the heck do we jump? He jumped automatically. He jumped automatically. And there is some kind of a pressure plate. Ah, a large boulder. He jumped automatically. And now he didn't. Okay, maybe jumping is just a thing that the character does on his own. Who knows? That's a boulder. Maybe that's what we used to get across. Can we swim? We should be able to swim. We can, and it does... Uh-oh, that's a little worm. The music is amazing. So there's a stream in the water, which was taking us away. And supposedly, if you look on the top, the gargoyle, and the color of the eyes actually tells you how much health the enemies have. Do I want to just collect that rodworm? I highly doubt it. Now, we have 3 weapons, and last time we kind of dual wielded them, but there is no dual wielding. There's no such thing. So we might, according to the manual, so there's no like quicker attacks or double attacks. So we're gonna actually pick up our shield and use that one. Excellent. There's a button. Might as well press it. I'm gonna see what happens. And yeah, so seems to be a stream in the water. And the shaking makes me feel like we might be drowning, but it's also, I'm not 100% sure. That is the case. Interesting, there was no combat music, so maybe some enemies just Where did he go? He had green health, according to the gargoyle, and then he just disappeared. Can he teleport? Interesting. There's a door, which is open, suspicious. There's the chasm, maybe, that the guy was talking about. We might try to jump over next time, somehow. Okay, this stream, if it takes us, is going to take us somewhere. I'm not yet ready to explore that way. However, I think it would be a good idea to mark it on the map as... We have a map which shows us base terrain types. Oh my god. Okay, maybe the button actually opened the door. And the stream might lead us somewhere, but I'm not ready yet to commit to exploring it. What I would like to do is... potentially save the game. Yeah, still under slot 1, that's fine. And then try to see if we can jump over that obstacle somehow. I don't know how. Yeah, maybe we can jump forward if we mash... Or we can also just float. I think I just ran. I think if I mash the left and right mouse buttons with running forward. Oh, she looks aggressive. Okay, that was a magic arrow. I didn't really do a whole lot. Oh, but the runes stay there. So we can keep recasting the same spell. We don't have to kind of set different runes, prepare different runes in our yeah, magic slot, right? I thought that once we cast, runes disappear, but it's not the case. Oh, that is amazing. Badly worn short sword. Don't particularly care for it. I'm going to put it in our backpack. The magic arrow didn't really seem particularly powerful, but what do I know? So we should be finding the human settlement. Yeah, exactly. He said that's some symbol of the Ankh and some other garbage. Banner of Kabirus, exactly. That's what he said. The door is locked. I don't necessarily want to break it down because maybe there's people. Can I talk to you? I thought maybe there's a guy on the other side. I don't want to break it down. Forget it. Maybe later. And maybe... So are you seeing this map? This is already not just some random dungeon. This is a proper little ecosystem with different factions and a stream, and these things might connect to each other, all of these locked doors to some area that has some particular purpose. What are these? An oil flask. Is that for my candles? Let's put it in our second. I would like to kind of mark somehow our backpacks. A bench. Alright, doesn't seem too useful. And a window to the stream. Okay, so maybe I do want to actually break down this door. Let's see, we saved. I hope we don't anger anybody. But so far, I mean, we only found one key and a million locked doors, so I don't know. Or did we leave the key? Did we leave the key in the lock? Hello, friendly. I know we kind of barged in, but we are friends, we are humans. That means I would like to erase this locked door thing. There we go. Oh, I love this. This is gonna make exploration very fun. This looks like somebody lives here. I don't know if I want to just take stuff. A pole? That could be useful because the guy said with a long pole he was able to escape the prison, right? Let's pick that up. So far we can still pick up more stuff, but we're gonna run into an issue soon. Cauldron, a box. Can I open the box? What do we have in here? Nothing. Alright. Cauldron is empty. Cauldron is empty. Ooh! And a sling. Sling stones and serviceable sling. I'm tempted. But we are running into space issues already. Let's pick up sling. I'm not gonna use it because so far it seems like we can kind of kite these basic enemies. Okay, stepping back is not really working so well. And some sling stones. Please pick up 6 of them. And pick them up, maybe put them in the box for now. Alright. Then there is water. Can we drink water? Okay, nothing to do there, fine. What else do we have here? This long corridor feels creepy as hell, and we just lost our light. A light was in lore. Okay, let's cast it. We have enough mana. Nope. The light was in lore. And then we prepare our magic arrow. Ah! God damn it, like this. Then we have more doors to potentially break down. No, this one is not even locked. Look at that. That's people. Friendly, friendly. Are we good? Gulik, who art thou? I am Isquanir. I'm Gulik, called the Blessed. Why are you blessed, and who is the leader here? Why are you called that? I have been called the Blessed since my prison days, when I was considered lucky because I have a taste for cockroaches. I never went hungry, thou seest. Is this place better? Is this place better than a prison? Thou art in the great Stygian Abyss, where neither thou nor any other may ever hope to leave again. 'Tis worse than any prison, for there is no hope of parole or pardon, and no death so clean as an honest hanging. Tell me a little bit more about this place. It was not always such. Once a leader named Sir Cabirus, cursed be his name, had the foolish notion that this place could be colonized. When his folly caught up with him, the civilization of the Underearth fell, and we now scrabble to survive in its ruins. He died, and so escaped the punishment for his crime. Dreamers, they will be the death of us all. Okay. How did you manage to end up here? I killed a man who needed killing. My crime was being caught. Yeah, I kind of had a feeling. Perhaps I don't want to necessarily mess up with him, dude. I must be going. Just, enjoy. Who am I to judge? At least for now. But this place looks pimped up, like properly decorated. And there's one more man. They all look the same. This is not gonna be going great. A Hugbard. Ha! Another fish enters the barrel. What be thy crime, son of misfortune? I am innocent. I was falsely accused. Innocent, eh? Why, so are we all. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Falsely accused, every one of us. It grieves me to hear it. Can nothing be done? Surely thou art one among us who was condemned by that pious oath, Baron Ulmric. We of the outcasts are the survivors of his intempered justice, fugitives from the predations of the Gobs. Gobs? What the heck is Gobs? What are these gobs of whom doth speak? Of whom thou doth speak? Oh my god. Goblins. There are the greens and the greys, and they are deadly foes. They make our lives more difficult still with their vendettas. What is the nature of their feud? None can say. Their conflict seems to have begun at the time of the Great Collapse, when the civilization of the Underearth fell. We know only that their leaders have sworn never to agree on anything. And is there aught beyond the domain of these goblins? Is there nothing else you can tell me, dude? Some goblins no longer abide the commands of their leaders, but wander the corridors in search of prey. They take from our supplies of food and our danger as well. Would that we were rid of them. Alright, I'm gonna be on a lookout for them. It's interesting that these dialogues have so many options, and they seem to be kind of leading in different directions. They don't necessarily all converge to the same spot. And if you go one path, you're not going to be able to go the other path, right? And ask some of the other questions that you might have been also interested in. So you have to really pick. Because I would be interested in multiple choices, but we are never able to ask everything. What the heck is this? There's two guys chatting. There's a lot of stuff. I don't want to take it from them. There's an outcast. Has no name. So another comrade is caught by the abyss. What was thy crime, pray tell? I'm accused of kidnapping a girl. Perhaps the same girl that I hear was carried through these upper caves by a troll. Perhaps. Well, whoever she was, she's here no longer. I don't know how far the troll was planning on taking her, but given the strength of a troll, he'll not likely run out of energy anytime soon. Then there is no hope of rescuing. I must be off immediately. I don't want to... Hold on just a minute. Surely the girl is in trouble, but if thou dost learn the ways of the abyss first, thou wilt surely have a better chance of rescuing her. I would love that. Yes, please. Well, thou shouldst know that most of the inhabitants of the abyss are unfriendly. It's not so much a question of what areas to avoid, as of which areas are relatively safe. Look for the banner of Cabirus, a tapestry with an ankh, such as we have, as a sign of civilization. Any people or creatures thou dost find past the banner are more likely to talk with thee than eat thee. So there's a bit of a hint that we should not just aggro everybody we see there, right? He mentions creatures, so there might be also other kind of races here in these little alcoves of Cabirus that we should try to speak first, not to miss out on stuff before engaging. Speaking of ankhs, thou wouldst do well to search out the other thing they represent, shrines. What use do they serve? When thou dost see a large plain ankh standing on the ground, thou hast found a shrine to virtue. It is said that if thou hast been virtuous and dedicated to increasing thy abilities, praying at the shrine will, with the correct mantra, will allow thee to enhance thy abilities. It is said that there is one in the southeast area of these upper caves. Southeast, okay, bottom right. But I have not seen it myself. So these are the places where we level up our abilities if we have enough experience points. That's at least what the manual says, and seems to kind of go well with what the outcast is saying. I thank thee for thy information. Good luck. They seem very friendly. Okay, there's just 3 bedrolls, okay. I might want the food from this guy. This is a different guy. Okay, sure. What inhabitants should I avoid? Okay, he's just repeating already what I ask. So both of these guys have the same information to give. All right. I don't like the back track. So you're not really supposed to really go back because look at this. It's extremely slow. Okay. So basically all of these are friendlies. This is where we might be able to rest, I suppose. And this kind of covers this whole area. We could go down into the stream, but it takes us unaware. We're going to try to go here and try to batter down these locked doors, which we left last time. But this is cool. Oh, we are pushing him. He's making sound as if we are damaging him, so I hope we are not. And we are really pushing him. I wonder if we could even push him towards some enemies, and he then starts engaging them. If this will be a bit of a way to cheese, let's say, the game. Please go away, my friend, please. There we go. So now we go back to the beginning, and I batter down the other doors. Somehow here we jumped, I have no idea how, but fair enough. I know we flew, so there's a bit of a momentum, right? Here I have no idea as well. No? Can we not? What are we? How are we jumping? With the shift key we are just doing some weird stuff. Wait, I think I'm jumping when I run. And press the right key, can that be? I have no idea. Doesn't seem to really be the case. We've been here before. And here we are at the beginning again. And there were two doors that were locked. One leading down here and one right behind us. So let's have a look. So we bet at this door already in the first episode. I wonder if different doors might have different endurances to them, durabilities. Also notice on the bottom left there's this crystal which changes colors. That's kind of indication of how much we charged our attack and how much power it has. So we want to actually hold on for a bit. So our cudgel was already damaged 4 times. I have a feeling this door seems much stronger than the previous ones. But since we have 2 other weapons, or even 3 maybe, cudgel was destroyed. Can I use my fist? Does it hurt me? We have 23 vitality. 23 vitality. Not sure. We have a dagger. I'm not so sure about that. We have a torch, which is unlit. The axe could be good, but I don't necessarily want to use it. Badly worn hand axe. Maybe I use a dagger. I don't necessarily want to use these things just to destroy them against the door, huh? There we go. That worked. And we ended up in a place with a little message on the wall. Okay, what do you say before we do anything here? The plaque reads, "Plant the seed of the silver sapling, and a new sapling will spring forth. In return for this gift of life, thou shalt be granted a new life thyself, when this one doth end." This to me sounds like it gives us a respawn, right? Am I crazy? Can I use him? I get a seed. Okay, so indeed, this now to me suggests that whatever the standard of silver sapling, whenever I plant that seed, I'm gonna get a little bit of respawn point. Interesting. Interesting. You know what? Let's mark it on the map, even if just for historical reasons. This door is no longer locked here. And here is silver sapling. Excellent. This is amazing. Look at the map. I mean, there's so much going on here in comparison to what we just experienced in Eye of Beholder, right? This is cool, and it's just level 1. So I wonder how far it's going to go with different NPCs and different ways of solving things and just the exploration element of this whole. But we've been going on for almost half an hour, so I think we're going to leave it here. We've done quite some progress. We now cast spells, we've met some NPCs, we've jumped, and battered down some doors. I think we're doing quite well, and we're going to continue next time with hopefully a bit longer episode. Today I'm a bit pressed for time, unfortunately. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and leave some comments, leave some tips, leave some experiences you've had with the game. And I cannot wait for the next time. Until then, take care.